let me start my this I think it's a brief presentation talking about my career, or let's say my life and study after graduation from Kyoto University. While I when I'm sharing the slides, I would like to turn off my video to keep it fluent. Okay, forgive me. This presentation is going to be about my career journey from 2010 to 2026. So I'm working now in Beijing Normal University, but actually I'm a PhD from DPRI. And you see here's uh, my important um, my very short CV. I received my undergraduate degree in geography, so I was trained as a geographer at BNU, and I obtained soon after that my master in land resources management. So you see, it's in management, and I have the great opportunity as granted by Okada Sensei, Professor Okada, and also my master supervisor, Professor Peijun Shi, to get the scholarship from Japanese government. So I have the international PhD program in DPRI in KU, and the name of my major is called urban social engineering or urban planning. And after that, in late 2009, I returned to BNU and worked here until now. So while I was um, actually you Diamond-san mentioned raised a couple of questions on the list. Say, actually, I have very early contact, or I've been involved in iDream enterprise very early. I joined the first Young Scientist session, I think in 2006. That was in Istanbul, in Turkey. And by that time, I was just a fresh master graduates. Yeah. So that was my first time. And then after that, 2007 and 2008, and I all joined the YSS session. And as a PhD student in DPRI, I also sometimes helped Yokoma Sensei to organize the Young Scientist session. Mm, in year 2009, I think, yeah, this was September in 2009. This was in Katsa campus. And this guy, Sagala, actually, we're under supervision of Professor Okada, and we graduated on the same day. And I guess for this year, iDream annual conference will be hosted by him and or his organization. And this photo was taken after we finished our dissertation defense. So Okada sensei and Tatano sensei here. And my doctor's thesis was about financial issue of disaster risk, and it's more kind of theoretical. And so my actual or um, supervisor, but actually, I should not say supervisor, but all of my PhD work was actually guided by Yokoma Sensei. So it's about, you see the title here is it's about intersectoral and intertemporal diversification of agricultural disaster risk, equilibrium analysis of risk sharing policy and the role of the government. You see, this is a very social science, very economics, and actually the way of analysis is quite theoretical. So quite theoretical. It was, and soon after that, we had the ceremony, the foundation ceremony of our iDream Society. I think exactly in September 2009. And short after that, we had the first, let's say first, but actually, as I mentioned, YS was set up. Actually, the YS had a even longer history than iDream Society because in let's say in earlier times in the YASA DPR annual conference series, we always had the YSS session. So it was the first YSS of iDream Society, and I feel quite I was quite honored. But all my competitors, we are equally good. I think we're equally. I'm just a bit lucky, and actually, you see that I was on that day I was a little bit drunk because the day before that computation, it was the it was the foundation of the society. Yeah. So my lifetime highlight moment. Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, so you see, in September, I finish my thesis dissertation defense, and we had the YSS computation, and I get the award. And after that, I started thinking because I'm graduating. I started to think where I'm going to work. Yeah, and so this is the first turning point of my career, because I was actually planned to return to BNU, and because of my research on agriculture insurance, and by that time I was thinking maybe I could work in the insurance sector, for example, like the international reinsurance company like Swiss Re or Munich Re. They're recruiting PhD students. They're recruiting fresh PhD. But maybe I could have a try. But by that time, Okada Sensei say say something to me. He insisted that I had the talent of being a university uh, professor. So that's actually my first turning point. So I keep my path and returned to BNU and started my career as a university researcher and or as a professor. So in the early 20 after short after I joined my institution, I had my first stage of challenge because once I joined the BNU, I my institution was its name is State Key Laboratory of Earth Surface Process and Resources Ecology. And from this name, you could see that this institution is quite earth science. It's physical science. But just as its scope of studies like just written on my thesis, the front page of my thesis, my training was more economics, more theoretical, or actually it was mixed because I was trained as a geographer in my bachelor and also management science during my master and a bit theoretical economics during my PhD study. So was quite, my background was quite mixed. But when I joined this institution or the state key laboratory, they really want hard science, let's say, or earth science. So, and also as a national, so there's a national top tier laboratory, my institution have really high demand of publication because the number or quality of publication is actually a very explicit measure of productivity and academic capability. Um, for the first 2 years, I have no paper coming out, and I was a serious challenge. It was a hard time. So my response or the way to I tried to adapt with some of my colleagues, and because several colleagues of mine were actually they came back from the United States, and they are also facing this kind of similar way of challenge. So I started to turn to empirical studies on agricultural science. So I was playing a duo. On the one hand, I'm using the agriculture economic way, and on the other hand, I'm using earth science or geography way of study. They say half half. So my framework curve during that period was, you see, half half. On the one hand, I'm focusing on agro-risk models by using earth science-based research. We do natural disaster modeling, we do risk assessment, and with quantitative risk assessment, we help insurance companies or the national insurance program to do the insurance pricing. This is more physical science side. And on the other hand, I do the agriculture insurance economic way of study, like what is a farmer's risk perception or risk preference, and how we can really use some kind of empirical way to measure their willingness to pay to different insurance products, and that will come to welfare analysis or policy analysis. So those goes to industrial applications or standards, or goes to policy suggestions. And during this period, for example, the outcome of this period you see these very actually preliminary outcomes. For example, I'm publishing a journal risk research. This is a stated preference approach about farmers' risk preference, or I'm doing about factors affecting farmers' crop insurance participation. This is a very typical kind of insurance demand analysis using econometric approach. And for this one, highlight a bit to heavy. This is one of my favorite work because it uses the discrete choice analysis to review farmers' preference for different insurance attributes. And based on that, we run policy simulation. We see how these crop insurance policies could be improved, and that will help farmers to get more welfare improvement. So you see that from this period is still more, the publication is still more about in agriculture economic way of study, or say AE. And then then my next challenge comes in late 2017. We had an institutional change. We had the Faculty of Geographical Science, and China is kind of developing university capability by developing different disciplines. So one faculty have only one main discipline, and our discipline will be geography. So that said, I must contribute to geography, and I must use geographical way of study and having geographical way of academic outcomes. And AE may be possible, but it's not the mainstream. So I have to adapt again. During that period, I tried to shift my focus from AE way of study to more earth science way of study, to more geographical and or physical science-based study. I'm trying to link in agricultural risk to climate change, because climate change is affecting, climate change is creating more kind of climate extreme events, and that will damage crops, and that will bring more risk to farmers. And then I could come back to the climate change context. So I started to learn more to learn to use like crop models and machine learning algorithms, and also we started I and my students and are still started to use kind of experimental way of research. And there are two opportunities that really helped me. One is we call it global change risk of population economic system mechanisms and assessments. This is a big project. We call it National Key Research Development Program. One project, the project funding is like 30 million RMB, but it's actually the group has four really top research institutions in China, and Professor Peijun Xi was the leading the PI of the entire project, and he is also leading one fourth of the project, and I was honored to be a part of that, and I was also serving as a secretary of this entire project. So it's so I want to extend my agricultural risk or insurance research to climate change, and now this and by that time this project gave me the chance, give me the theoretical environment, gave me the kind of environment, and also gave me the funding, so I could really work on that. And the second opportunity was my stay in Boston University. That was actually some extended opportunity from the project, because of the project we're visiting the BU, and we visited the Party Center for longer range future analysis. And this is the chairman by that time, mm, mm, Tony Genetos. I'm correct. But I'm sorry to say that he passed away after I left the center in 2019. He passed away, but he's a really good person. And there I get to know a lot of researchers in global change analysis, and from there I read this very important report, "The Risk of Multiple Break-Bust Failure in the 21st Century." Science research agenda, because I'm trying to looking for some topic in climate change and also crop damage, and this report gave me a very very nice scientific perspective. It's focusing on the systematic risk of food security due to telecoupled events. So I started to follow this way, and then for the past 8 years I've been working on this. And you see, I'll keep it short. My group is starting to use experiment, try to understand how staple crops respond to compound climate extreme. For example, coupled heat and drought events, coupled cold and wet events, so on and so forth. And we are also developing our own models. We use machine learning algorithm to emulate process-based models, so that we could we're using this kind of AI supported tool so that we could expedite our computational speed and also increase our simulation. And we use our model to assess future climate change impact of cereal crop risk. Um, yeah, so on and so on and so forth. So now my framework of research is still focusing on these two layers. First layer is more kind of earth science-based climate change and food resilience. We're focusing on the interaction between food system, the climate system via the land system. We focus on the raw data, obtaining and the production raw data, the physical process, for example, how those crops respond to climate extremes. And we use statistical modeling of field experiments to do this. And based on this understanding, we improve existing models or develop new models. And with the help of the models, we could run risk assessment or future impact projection. Or now we are turning to kind of early warning by use seasonal to subseasonal climate forecast data. And with this kind of physical science-based research, our output or is to support evidence-based policy making or insurance solutions. Still, it's linked to insurance, risk and insurance. So this is how I think this is very briefly how my three stage. And for the past 3 years, I actually jumped a little bit back to insurance. We had an international cooperation project. We're collaborating with researchers and practitioners from Ethiopia. We are focusing on index-based insurance for coffee. Yeah, so today is a cafe, and actually next time I could invite you for some real coffee. Yeah. So to summarize, actually, you see, every stage there's some institutional change at the we have to adapt. And my next challenge will be because our academic leaders are retiring. You see, yeah, this is true. And are we capable of taking the responsibility? So at the beginning, Diamond-san said put me as a senior. So yes, and it seems that I've become one of the seniors. Then I have to take the role. Um, and how could I adapt, and where are the opportunities? I'm still looking or thinking for that. So you see, my path is like insurance and AE approach, and geography and the physical science-based approach. This is a 50 and 50, and here and there and here and there. And now I'm using process-based models supported insurance policy solutions. So my last thing to share is about because Diamond-san at the beginning has emphasized. So what I learned from iDream Society and how iDream Society supported supported me through years. I think I've been um, my my experience or my friendship or my roots in iDream Society have been, let's say, 20 years. I think it's actually since 2006. Yes, 2006. When I was so every year I joined the iDream event series, and the societies, I think the first, it's the most important benefit for me is the international environment. And you see this, my collaboration with African researchers or North American researchers or European researchers, that all benefited or rooted back from from the international environment of the society. That's a really very nice platform. Even recently, last December, I was trying to seek for a potential collaborator in in Central Asia, and I wrote email to ask for help from society, and the society really helped me. This is a most important thing, I think. And for other things, I cannot really tell, but because my growth or my career of the past years, iDream Society is an indispensable part of that. It's not that explicit, but I think there are contributions or relationship or benefits here and there in my everyday life from iDream. That's what I would do to conclude here. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Diamond Song. Maybe a little bit more too much time. Sorry.